right now we're going through the greatest opportunity of this generation, in my opinion, right? If you ask me, the digital economy, creator economy, and the ability to build leverage is not only like the greatest opportunity in our lifetime to start a business, maximize freedom, and create wealth, but I honestly think it's one of the best opportunities of all time, right? We've never seen in history like a situation where you can create wealth, abundance, enter the digital economy, global economy in a permissionless and decentralized way. So by permissionless and decentralized, what I mean by that is you don't have to ask somebody. You don't need to know a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy who knows the Rothschild. Like, you can just start something as long as you have, you know, a skill set, a unique perspective, and a means of getting attention, the internet. And if you have the right systems to capture that attention, to build trust and authority, like, you will thrive in this new creator and digital economy. It's not a matter of if, but it's a matter of when, as long as you stay consistent. All right. So that's kind of where we are, right? But here's where it gets messy. So as more people realize this opportunity, the creator economy becomes flooded with different players, right? Competition increases and ridiculous offers increase. So with how easy it is to make offers with AI and this copy and paste culture, anybody can appear way more skilled than they actually are, right? So these tools make the barrier to entry not only incredibly low, because they were low 5-10 years ago. They're already low because, you know, we live in a permissionless and decentralized economy if you're participating in the online space. But now the barrier to entry is pretty much non-existent, right? So what happens is any 18-year-old with Wi-Fi can listen to and download $100 million offers by Alex Hormozi, which is a go pick that up, and upload the ebook into ChatGPT and then create this revolutionary offer, right? With that offer, revolutionary one, they can then start signing clients or mentees with promises that are way above their skill level, expertise, or experience. And in this case, they're not really even selling a transformation or information, which we'll talk about later, but they're just selling dreams that they haven't even accomplished themselves, right? And this is what we know, and this is the conditions that lead to what I call the trust recession, right? Now, all markets run on trust, right? They always have, always will be. You know, they run on trust, whether it's feudal times, whether it's hunter-gatherer times, whether it's the Roman Empire and their economy, whether it's our current, you know, creator economy, industrial economy. Trust is so important. And the reality is, in this online space, as it evolves, this isn't 2017 anymore. Like, the days of just posting a picture next to a Lamborghini with a call to action saying, hey, listen, join my course or program, like, those days are gone, right? Sales cycles are longer than ever because of all these players saturating the market, and also because people have been burned too many times. So now prospects, they need to see you in action. They need to make sure that you're actually authentic, and, you know, the experiences that you talk about, you know, your values, they need to be able to recognize those before they even consider opening their wallets, let alone even giving you the time of day to watch your content. Now, if you can't bridge that trust gap with value, you're gonna get ignored, right? No matter how flashy your Lambo is, right? And I'm sure you remember this guy, damn, I forgot his name. It's on the tip of my mind. Wow, this is late at night. Don't record a video late at night. You forget obvious people's names. Ty Lopez. Here in my garage, Ty Lopez. He flashed his Lamborghini. Boom, join my course program. A bunch of people flooded in. Like, that worked 10 years ago. Try it now. Actually, try. If someone tries it now and it actually works, comment below. Let me see how you put it off. I'll be very curious to know how. But yeah, every ad nowadays, you see it all the time, right? Listen, we'll give you 50K in 60 days, or we'll send you $5,000 for wasting your time. And these guys, they don't really deliver anything. And people's scam centers, they go nuclear. They've been burned multiple times. And now they're suspicious of everyone and everything because, you know, they've just seen it over and over again. And this includes those people who are actually legitimate, who can actually deliver results, whether it's a service business, whether it's an info coaching business. This you're lumped up with these kids, these 18-year-olds who are just spamming the market with these offers. And this is because of two main things about humans, right? Humans are two things. We are risk averse by nature, and we're evolved to recognize patterns, right? So listen, after 2 or 3 negative experiences with someone online, Now, I don't just distrust those specific people who ran that specific ad. Now, I'm going to distrust the entire industry, because if you look like if you look like a cat, act like a cat, chances are you're a cat. It's just basic pattern recognition, right? Everything I've just explained is, what we see right now in this trust recession, and the people that are getting crushed in the trust recession, the new experts with a genuine skill, ethical coaches, anyone relying on paid ads only, anyone relying on organic only. And the reason for that is, if you just rely on paid ads and have no kind of organic content, good luck with those CPMs. They're going to be through the roof. If you just rely on organic content and you don't have paid ads in your ecosystem, good luck with any predictability. You're just going to be wishing and hoping that the algorithm loves you that day. And that might be twice in a year, 3 times in a year, 5 times in a year if you're really lucky, right? Anybody who's a generalist, course creators who kind of create these cookie cutter courses, and these people who flash this luxury lifestyle without actually creating any value, without actually putting forward any value, and also creators who never engage or nurture. You're just pitching, you're just constantly like buy, but you're not actually delivering value. These are the people who are going to get crushed. Meanwhile, however, established authorities with years of documented results, they're going to be doing fine. They're going to be doing just fine. The trust recession doesn't hurt those who already have trust. It creates a moat, a kind of barrier, a layer of protection around those people. Instead, it's very similar to how millionaires and billionaires tend to find opportunities in recessions. And rich people tend to get richer, right, during recessions. There's savvy people who find ways to make money during recessions. The same thing happened in COVID, but listen, that's another conversation for another day. I'm not even going to get into that in this video particularly, but we could talk about that another time. Anyways, how did we get here, right? That's exactly how we got here, right? One thing I've noticed, personally, I've been in this space for half a decade, in the online business space, and whatever social media gurus tell you about the latest strategy or what's working hot right now, you're going to want to do the opposite, or at the very least, use that as a temporary tool, not a permanent solution, right? The reason why is, right now, 2025, right, ad costs are at an all-time high across every niche. I don't care if you're the best, PPC guy in the world. It's higher than it was ever before, right? Short form content talking head phase that exploded a few years ago, that's saturated, right? Everyone looks the same, sounds the same, makes the same promises. And to understand the trust recession, you need to understand a concept called stimulus hyposthesia. Now, I don't want to get too in depth on this, but you really need to understand this in order to understand anything I'm talking about. So think of any kind of marketing strategy as stimuli, right? So they're essentially tricks designed to stimulate action, right? Like a magic trick, right? The first time you see it, you're amazed and the dopamine hits, right? Then, just like our dopaminergic system, the more you get repeated exposure, the more indifferent you become, right? So the novelty wears off and the magic disappears. So at first, you see here, the stimuli is incredibly effective, right? Over time, as it gets exposed to more and more humans, it's less and less effective. And the inverse is also true. And a practical example is Facebook ads, right? Facebook ads, when they first dropped, like cost per click was like, cents, like 3-4 cents, like back in the day. And they were revolutionary to online marketers, to businesses, right? SMMA, literally, like Iman Ghazi built his empire selling, SMMA from that whole era, from that whole craze. VSLs, they were game changing when they first came out. Even just the one-liner book of free strategy call, like people heard free call, like their dopamine system was going crazy, and they didn't have anything else, no videos, no like a 2-minute scripted VSL before ChatGPT, book a free call, and people were making bank, right? Here's some Facebook ads, first ones, like, these go crazy. Nowadays, what happens is people, they'll see Facebook ads and they'll just glaze over it. Like, you might not even, like what was the last Facebook ad you've seen, or Instagram ad? Like, you're not going to be able to tell me. Like, you're just so indifferent to it, right? Now, what happens is, here's how it plays out, right? So a new strategy emerges, and it works because it's novel, but a lot of times just because it works and it's just a good strategy. Then the early adopters, your Iman Gadzis, for instance, they start teaching it. They start making courses around this specific stimuli, right? This magic trick. Let's call it a magic trick. Masses adopt it. The market gets flooded. The effectiveness drops. Trust erodes further. And desperate marketers make bigger promises. Trust erodes even more. Rinse and repeat. So basically, a strategy comes around. A guru tells everyone to start doing it. Everyone then starts doing it, which makes it not effective. And because everyone else is seeing it in the market, it's even less and less effective. And then now everyone's trying this strategy. Someone else has found a new strategy, and then that's effective now. And you have this cycle. So every guru with a larger audience tells the followers to use the same strategies. You got thousands of people using the exact same approach, same promises, same looking content. The market, at least at face value, they're not going to be able to tell the difference between someone with 10 years of experience and someone who started last Tuesday, bought a course, did exactly what they said to do on the course, and we end up with a trust recession. Now, how do we get ahead? How do we put things in place so this isn't an issue? This isn't a barrier for online coaches, online service providers, info agencies, people who sell info, course creators, ethical course creators, right? It's understanding information versus transformation, right? Information, if you're just getting into this game and you have this idea that you're going to sell simply information, you've lost already, my friend, right? You've already lost. The idea is to sell a transformation, right? The thing is, right, I could talk about this for a long time. We're in an age of infinite information. People are desiring a transformation, right? Listen, ChatGPT 5 came out a month ago, right? The next ChatGPT is going to be crazy. Information is so abundant. I can find out anything about anyone or any topic. Let me not say anyone yet. And it's just too much, right? And we've not even reached AGI, artificial general intelligence. We've not even reached ASI, artificial super intelligence. Like in my personal opinion, information is going to be worthless in like 10, 15, 20 years because it's going to be so abundant. It's the actual transformation, especially with AI, because a transformation, that's a human experience, right? You can train any AI to learn anything about anything, and that's just information, but it doesn't mean anything, right? It can't actually transform itself. It's a transformation which makes humans, which draws us in, which builds stories, which makes us attracted to other people, which gives us charisma and history. And these are the things which are going to be even more important as we head into this AGI, ASI, AI technocratic state in the very near future. But that's another conversation for another day. Right? Again, yeah, information is everywhere. YouTube, ChatGPT, free courses, blah, 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 stolen strategies. Transformation is different though. Transformation needs behavioral changes, right? It needs implementation and the support for the implementation. It needs accountability, systems, personalized feedback, someone who gives a damn about your results. You can't chat GPT your way to transformation, right? And if you think you can, and I used to think I can chat GPT my way to transformation. It's like, okay, I asked chat GPT for some advice, how to get hench, right? And it gives me some generic advice about the gym, but then I realize I'm never going to stick to this. Then I have to actually create behavioral changes because I've struggled with it. Now that's my own personal story. How am I going to implement that? How have I kept myself accountable? Now from that advice, I can then give someone else advice in a very real, raw human way. But anyways, this is why trust matters more now than ever before, because transformation requires vulnerability, and vulnerability requires trust. Now, what I want to invite you to do is to play a different game, right? Now, this is the death of the traditional sales funnel. So now you should understand stimulus hypoesthesia, how strategies come and go, right? The cycle. The truth is, most entrepreneurs escape the corporate rat race. They want to, quit your job. You might want to quit your job only to create a digital one, right? So now you're bouncing from strategy to strategy, chasing what's hot now, burning out on the hamster wheel of tactics, And to win, to get out of this digital rat race, you need to play a completely different game, right? The 7-4-11 rule, right? The 7-4-11 rule is, when I found out about this is when I realized, like, yeah, like this is the future. 7 hours of content across 4 different platforms and 11 different touch points. Google has come to the conclusion that that's the average amount of time someone needs, and average kind of rule that someone needs before they trust you enough to buy from you, right? A sophisticated consumer, which we are nowadays, because we've all been burned. A lot of us have been burned. We're sophisticated. We've been in the game for a minute. We're not going to watch an ad, book a call, and whip out, credit cards. Like, those days are gone. They're done. Research, comparison, lurking, testing. That's the name of the game today, right? 7 hours gives someone enough time to come to their own conclusions, verify your expertise, build familiarity, see if they like you, see if they even want to listen to you for if they listen to you for 7 hours for free. Like, they made a good idea as to whether you can actually give them value, right? And that's the thing, you can't fake expertise, and at the very least you can't fake passion for a topic. If you're able to make 7 legitimate hours of refreshing and new different perspectives of content on a particular topic, without you really just flexing like you're a subject matter expert, and this natural filter is your advantage. This is kind of going to ensure that you're the real deal, right? And the traditional funnel, right? That 7-4-11 rule. Shout out Daniel Priestley. I heard about it from him. Kind of is going to be the ecosystem, which is going to replace the traditional funnel, right? Which is just awareness, run an ad, somebody clicks on the ad, engagement. Somebody discovers who you are by actually engaging with a VSL, and then they just whip out a credit card, and then you just retain them magically for years. Like, that's not going to happen, right? And that's known as the AIDA model, right? Attention, interest, desire, action. If someone tells you these funnels work, right, they're probably a guru who they have massive amounts of trust, thousands of YouTube videos, subscribers, email lists, all of that stuff, social proof everywhere. And when they launch these simple funnels, it works because they already have trust, right? They've already done the 7-4-11 rule. They've already done this. It's not even 7-4-11. Sometimes it's like 600, 8, 90. Like, and here's the thing as well. Here's the thing about the 7-4-11 rule. Yes, 7 hours of content across 4 different platforms and having 11 different touch points. That's like what Google has come up with as, the benchmark. But it's exactly just that. It's just a benchmark. It's just a standard. So if you have 6 hours of content on only Instagram and YouTube and someone has 9 different touch points, does that mean you're never going to sell? No, but it's just a benchmark. It's something that you should aim towards. It's something that should set your standards, and that's just all it is, really. Of course, it's not just a hard set rule, but it's a good way to measure where you're at in terms of the digital assets you're creating to thrive in this digital economy. Big up these two. So how trust is actually built, right? I'm going to skim through this. You can pause, or if you want this document or you want me to run through it, I might leave the link. In fact, DM me on Instagram, shout me on Instagram, and I'll just walk you through it, or I'll give you the document, whatever. But essentially, this is how you trust is actually built if you're not a mega influencer, right? Quick mini guide, right? Transparency, right? Show failures, not just wins. Let people see behind the curtains, right? Show you're a human, right? Show the transformation we spoke about earlier. Proof of work. Document your process in real time. Create a digital asset. And by the way, for all of this, it's digital assets you want to create to convey this. How can you be in the digital economy but don't have digital assets? And never make any sense, right? Proof of work, right? Build in public. Show the messiness. Show that you're human. Create bodies of work. That's going to be even more important in the AI age as things just become perfect. It's going to get sickly. Like, too much perfection we're humans, right? Community, right? Create spaces where results are visible, network, consistent value delivery, and show up even when you're not selling, right? Show up even when you're not selling. Create value, right? Do what I'm doing. Like, I'm sharing what I know, and even if 2 or 3 people find this valuable, and by the way, if you're one of those 2 or 3 people that find this valuable, drop a comment, drop a like. hit me up on IG. That's it. That's all you have to do, and become a trusted source of information. That's all I want to do as well. Like, make sure that I can create a platform where if you're into this kind of stuff, you know that I'm gonna bring source, and make sure incentives are aligned, right? Performance-based options have skin in the game. So, when you are, I don't know, providing a service, info coaching, whatever, do things that make sure that, you have skin in the game. You have some risk. You've taken some risk as well, right? And who will win in the trust game? Who's winning, right? Deep specialists over surface level generalists, right? You don't see me trying to become, I don't know, a growth architect for online info coaches, as well as like a swimming instructor, as well as a skateboarding coach, because I used to skateboard, and then a PT all at the same time. It's like, no, I'm trying to go deep on one thing and become, a subject matter expert, right? So deep specialist, personal brands, crazy leverage with a personal brand. Community builders, AI can't replace community. Transparent operators, you show everything, show the build, show the de-influencing people with unique hard-won expertise. That goes crazy right now as well. And those who embrace video and put their face in the work, right? Building a personal brand is going to be so much more valuable. Like, no matter how valuable you think a personal brand is now, and how valuable you think a personal brand will be in 5-10 years, whatever that is, I don't even know how you measure that. I guess let's say it's a number. Whatever that number is, double it. Like, I can't stress how important a personal brand will be in the upcoming 5-10 years. Doing all these things, right? You'll build a moat that cannot be crossed, with a weekend course and some AI prompts of some 18-year-old trying to get a quick buck, just ruining the game. Anyways, AI proofing your personal brand. Again, just another quick rundown, right? These people have built moats, again, that can't be crossed with a weekend course. Have I repeated that? Oh my Lord. Anyways, I might edit that out, I might not. See how it goes. Cool. As AI becomes more sophisticated, these elements become your competitive advantage. Again, I'm gonna run through these. Pause if you want to actually have a detailed look, right? Your unique story, right? Personal experiences, failures, recoveries, cultural nuances. This is a big one. Culture. AI's got no culture. AI has got no culture. You can add your seasoning, your spice, your little dip-a-doop-ba in the middle, everything, right? Emotional journey, right? Story building, emotion. AI can't replace that. Responding to current events, spontaneous insights. If you want to make a quick video, make that quick video. Boom. Emotional intelligence, understanding unspoken needs, genuine connections, right? Visual authenticity. Your energy, the way I come across on camera is going to be different to the way somebody else is going to come across. Even though I'm tired, it's like 3 a.m. here. Either way, like you can get a sense of who I am roughly by these videos, right? You can see and align yourself to different people who you want to align yourself with. Authentic reactions, relationship capital, all these things. Pause this, take it in, and we move, right? AI, I've said this before, I'm going to say it again. AI can replicate information, but it can't replicate transformation, relationships, or the messy process of human growth. Something real, right? Again, I'm going to run through this quickly, right? Building sustainable models that transcend trends, right? Current trends, right? This is really important. This is actually to circle back on what I was talking about earlier with stimulus hyposthesia, right? Just these magic tricks, right? Understand this, right? Trends that you see now, whether it's short form content, whether it's long VSLs, short VSLs, using ManyChat, whatever, right? The principles that get you there are more important than the actual trends themselves, right? So focus on building relationships over just transactional, like even little things. I see people do the worst things. I see people in the online space say, refer to someone who's come into the funnel as a lead. Like, hey, like I see you come through the funnel as a lead, like on an appointment setting call or something. It's like, if someone called me a lead, like if they can see my name and see my name's Calvin, right? And they call me a lead. It's like, bro, I'm just a number to you. Like, that's so transactional. Like, remember, build relationships, right? Focus on lifetime value, and then create that relationship organically. Okay. Anyways, create ascending value ladders as well, right? Free lead magnets, low ticket, high ticket, blah 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 blah. Platform diversification. Back to the 7-4-11 rule. 4 platforms. You know, have multiple content channels, but own your audience. Email is still gonna be much more influential, sorry, than Instagram or TikTok in the long run for you if you're trying to build a personal brand and monetize and build wealth in the creator economy. Because for the number one reason that TikTok or Instagram can decide that something you posted, or somebody can report you and position your content as something that needs to be reported, and then you report it, and then your account goes down, right? So don't build on rented land. Own your audience, right? Create evergreen content and use trust as a moat, right? Now, this is the meta point, right? I say meta like YouTube ain't a competitor, but anyways, YouTube is so banging, right? 7 hours of TikToks is so different than 7 hours of YouTube videos. On YouTube, you can convey complex ideas completely, build narratives, show your thinking process, and spark transformation, not just share information, right? The reason being that short form it's just exactly that. It's too short for you to convey your ideas, right? So anyways, I've been rambling for a while now. I don't know how long this video will be. Hopefully not too long. But anyways, if you've made it this far, here are your next moves. Cross-pollination strategy. I've spoken about this before on my previous videos, right? So essentially use YouTube as your hub, and then by cross-pollinating, I mean having your content across YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, blah blah blah, and then make sure you have an ecosystem where everyone can engage with you everywhere, right? Develop 3 to 5 content pillars that you talk about. So maybe your core offer or your expertise, your perspectives, methodology, personal stories, and insights into your industry, trends, things of that nature. And then also transformations as well, right? Your content should be, or your channels should be around these 3 to 5 pillars. Create trust, right? 4 to 6 hours of high value long form content. Make some short form content as well to bump it up to about 7 hours, and then document case studies, client wins, all these things, and then use AI to enhance. Don't depend on AI, because as we spoke about before, AI can't transform anything. It can't create its own story. It doesn't have struggle, doesn't have pain, doesn't have ups, doesn't have downs, doesn't have everything that makes us humans, right? Never let AI be your voice. Combine AI with everything that we spoke about to make your processes more efficient. You can use automations to remove things that you don't like to do, manual things to free up more time, so you can be more creative and more human, right? And I like this a lot. Lose my voice, my bad. The anti-guru positioning. So be refreshingly honest about what you can and can't do. Again, show the messiness, not just the highlights. Build in public, focus on transformation, right? And listen, just to summarize, so you can walk away with something valuable from this, you know, even if it's just that one person. Understand this: the trust recession is real, but it's not permanent. And for those who understand it, it's an opportunity. Low barriers to entry, AI and oversaturation equals massive trust erosion. This is the problem that we have, right? Everyone looks the same, promises the same shit, and cannot deliver. The cause is information is completely commoditized. Anyone can copy strategies, make big promises, and appear legitimate, but transformation, real lasting transformation, requires trust, systems, and human connection. And the solution to this, right, is, I believe, building a personal brand. That can't be faked, right? Well, that means two things. Build a personal brand that can't be faked, but building a personal brand can't be faked. If you're consistent and, you know, like I said, you have 7 hours of content on a particular topic, like it's so hard to I couldn't make 7 hours of content about something random that I don't know nothing about, like motocross. Give me an hour or two, I'm smoked. And by the time I get to a point where I can make 7 hours, I'd have to do so much research. I probably know enough, at least, to be credible in somebody's eyes. Anyways, 7-4-11 rule, that's a North Star. It's a benchmark. Create content ecosystems, not funnels, From now on, listen, no, we still call them funnels, I guess, because it's easy, but I hate funnels. No more funnels from now on. We're building content ecosystems. Get used to the idea of building an ecosystem that demonstrates your expertise over time, right? Focus on transformation, not information. Be radically transparent, build in public, and create a community of people who look forward to your value, to your insights, to your worldview, to you being a subject matter expert, right? And the opportunity is, well, essentially, everyone's going to be chasing these tactics. We spoke about it with the stimulus hypothesia. You're going to be building trust. You're going to be building an ecosystem, right? While others make bigger promises, you're going to deliver consistent value. While others hide behind funnels, you show your face, share your story. The creators who win the next decade won't be those with the best tactics. They'll be those with the most trust. It's your move. Anyways, if you enjoyed that video, if you learned anything at all, like, comment, subscribe. It's going to motivate me a lot more to do these videos. To be honest, I'm going to do these videos regardless, so whether you want to like or not, it's beyond me. But gonna leave a link in the description, I guess, to my Instagram. Any questions, whatever, let me know. Peace.